Previously on Can Sensei Beanbag Rumble?
When a real warrior dies, he has to be remembered by what he did in life. You learn, first and foremost, how to make the world a better place and help others. That is what we call a legacy.
Yes.
And it's another reason why I'm doing this interview. Vladimir Putin.
Steven's, he's an entertainer. I can't call him a deep martial artist. There are too many martial artists that I really honor and respect, and who live that life of Budo. That I couldn't put him in that same category.
What about Steven Seagal?
But there are an awful lot of people who say that that's not true.
Welcome back, my fellow Seagalians and everyone else out there living their best Seagal.
His name. His name.
This will be the final installment on the Is Papa Seagal the most lethal human that ever lived? We finally put to bed the greatest mystery of our lifetime, and everyone can finally sleep easy.
I think I can finally get to sleep now.
Before that happens, it would be great if you would think about liking and subscribing. If you do so, you're obviously a good person who loves animals and kids.
You're a good person. You've always been a good person.
If you decide not to, you're probably a puppy-killing child hater who admires Steven Seagal.
Hole of an asshole's asshole.
It's your choice.
Choose. And choose wisely.
As an individual with over 90 gigabytes of Steven Seagal digital media,
What is wrong with you?
I have seen my fair share of Papa Seagal footage. I've dived deeper into Sensei Seagal than a proctologist dives into a patient's Seagal hole.
I'm Cosmo Kramer, the Yes Man.
Hours and hours of staring at his beady eyes and sleazy goatee. I tell you this not so you can ask,
Why? Why would you do that?
but so you understand the depth of research that has taken place. Sausage Fingers is deeply into the martial arts. As our young mate Jesse noted,
he's known for so many things, but what he really cares about is the martial arts.
I think Seagal genuinely enjoys learning the martial arts and the philosophies behind them.
What the hell did you just say?
However, I think that Seagal truly does believe he is the greatest martial artist, spiritual being, and all-around human that currently lives and has ever lived. My research seems to indicate the exact opposite. His behavior is not that of a true martial artist.
Really? What a shock.
Discipline, humility, respect, and one of the ones he always mentions but doesn't seem to exhibit, honor.
I'm not all about the money, I'm all about the honor.
I wonder what the great man Chuck Norris has to say. He takes a break from sparring with the Pride of Lions to let us know.
Really rotten kind of guy image that he projects is carries over. Largely acting, is it, or not?
Carries over in his whole life.
Really?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, that's too bad.
For a martial artist,
I suspected that.
Yeah, for a martial artist, it kind of surprises me too.
Preach, Chuck. Preach, baby. I can only assume Chuck read what Seagal said about him to the LA Times in 1986. Payback's a bitch, Sensei Seagal.
Chuck Norris.
And what about Michael Jai? Anything else you'd like to add to the topic?
Martial arts principles say that you keep yourself together. You don't gain 70 pounds, and you don't do harmful things to yourself.
As for being a tough guy, well, who or what is a tough guy?
Let's find out. I mean, I don't really want to get into, on film anyway, who's a tough guy. Do I think Michael is a tough guy? No. Do I think he's a martial artist? No. Do I think Jean-Claude's a tough guy or martial artist? No.
Here's another example of Seagal's poor qualities, as Chuck said, not usually associated with true martial artist practitioners. Do I think Seagal is a tough guy?
Can I laugh in your face?
The term tough guy doesn't have a negative connotation for me. It means someone who is durable, tough, and can hold their own. I see Bacon Burger Seagal as more of a bully, intimidator type of person. The reality is, Snickers Bar Seagal is 6'4" and now probably weighs a good 300 pounds plus.
What the hell you been eating?
Even in his most athletic years, he still would have weighed close to 220 pounds and would be a considerable opponent for the average Joe.
Hello, freak bitches.
No, not that Joe. More like this Joe. Seagal would easily destroy the average dude on the street. Anybody at home who has never taken a day of boxing, jiu-jitsu, karate or whatever, you have no chance, he would obliterate you.
Sorry, not sorry.
Watching the UFC or the best of the best movies doesn't qualify you for sit down and shut up.
The truth is painful.
I mean, just look at the size of his giant sausage fingers. I know I take the piss when I call him that, but have a look at the size of his mitts. They're like giant legs of ham. If he did chop you to the neck, or face, or nuts, you'd be in a world of pain.
In the spirit of Aikido.
The fact of the matter is, Seagal knows enough to destroy the average person, or somebody with minimal training. Even now at 70 years old and looking like a buffalo carcass.
Great white buffalo.
Great white buffalo!
I've been around and I've done a little bit of this and that in the martial arts world. I'm also quite a big, strong fella, but even I must admit that if I couldn't get Sensei's slippery nipple to the floor, I'd be in a pickle.
I am done for.
Now, for someone who is trained in martial arts and knows how to fight, I don't think he ever stood much of a chance. In his youth, when he was a shredded athletic specimen, he would have been faster and more agile, but as the decades rolled on, he has traded that for more knowledge, understanding, and the mass of a baby rhino. Then or now, a trained MMA fighter would pound the crap out of him. He can harp on about severing brainstems and chopping throats.
I'll hit you here. By the time you're down here, look what's exposed.
Yeah.
It's your brainstem.
But when someone is throwing a jab, cross, or hook at your face, you're not going to be fast enough to parry it, chop it, or grab anybody's wrists. It's very easy when you're telling them where to hit you. Unless that moron is running directly at you, or gives you access to their wrists and arms, it is very difficult to grab someone's wrist as they try and punch you.
Founder of Aikido at 87, being held this way, could do that. Isn't that remarkable?
All right, but what is the purpose? Nobody's gonna mug you. Nobody's gonna go like this.
You speak the truth, young man.
Now people are going to say, oh, he practices so often, it'll be like a reflex. That's awesome. His reflexes are not fast enough to grab or parry repeated punches. This is not a movie.
Hey, idiot, wake up.
Aikido isn't doing shit in a rear naked choke situation or once it hits the ground. Now, Sensei Samurai mentions he wouldn't allow it to get to the ground. I wouldn't imagine you have much of a choice against someone who knows what they're doing and grabs you.
Sounds plausible.
So the long and short of it is, yes, Sensei's sausage fingers can actually fight, and he would be able to hurt people.
Watch your tongue.
Aside from the fact he has the mobility of Mama Grape from What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Mama!
He still has enough knowledge, power, and technique to
Snatch every motherfucker birthday
from most people. I don't think he ever stood a chance against a mixed martial artist or trained fighter. Someone like Michael Jai White would have, for all intents and purposes, destroyed Seagal.
He's gonna f your life up.
But being a true martial artist, he would never do something even if he was handed the opportunity.
I asked the director, and he told me in this way, well, what we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure that that fight scene with you and Steven Seagal is the last thing we shoot, because if you hurt him, we can finish the fight scene with his stunt double. You're trying to get me to hurt Steven Seagal. If you really punch him in the face or you knock his teeth out, we won't need him. We can finish it with the stunt double. I'm like, I know everybody wanted to see him get hurt.
Well, because he had a history of hurting.
Yes.
Stunt doubles, right?
Yeah. I think that's some chicken shit stuff to hit anybody, right? Including me. I would never do that to somebody.
But maybe you can make an exception.
Alright, Seagalians, thank you for watching. Next, we're going to have a look at a special mini-movie where Seagal actually has to act.
Yeah, that's right.
As much as it goes against everything he holds true, he has no choice.
I try not to act. You know? I think the most important thing in acting is to not act.
Is it good? Well, that's a whole other question. Is it humorous? Yes. But only because Seagal is a terrible actor.
I think it's outrageous. I think it's a joke.
We're also going to discuss Seagal's physical and athletic prowess at some point soon. If you've had a bit of fun today, please think about liking and subscribing. If you haven't seen part 1 or 2 of this video, it's probably a good idea to do that, so click right about here somewhere. Until next time, my friends, stay awesome. Peace, legends.